Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you.
What's up? Really like that. You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network. It's a Thursday morning over here. Don't know when or how this one caught you. If you don't have a smile on your face for college football season, you about to over the next 45 minutes to an hour, however long this takes. All right, so obviously Ohio State and Texas kick off our 2025 college football season. Big noon kickoff up there in Columbus, Ohio at noon, right? I think the coolest thing about this matchup, Jonathan, is that we got it like 4 months ago, or it feels like 4 months ago. I feel like we got this game the last game. It was indeed the last game that Texas played, the second last game that Ohio State played. And I do think there are some things that are going to show up in this tape that we're going to show you today that are definitely going to show up again next Saturday when these two tee it up there in Columbus, Ohio. Today's purpose of the study: how in the hell did they handle Jeremiah Smith? Because I'm going to tell you what, you go look at the game logs, which I did today. I don't think most people remember that guy had 1,300 yards as a true 1,300 yards as a true freshman, but he played 16 games. I don't care. 1,300 yards as a true freshman. It was indeed as transcendent as everybody's making it out to be, right? How do you hold that guy to one reception for 3 yards? We're going to take a look at it today, and I'm going to be honest with you, Jonathan. I expected to see nothing but double coverage. I expected to see nothing but a defensive game plan that said number 4 ain't beating us today. I think it was more of a game plan of your whole passing attack probably not going to try to beat us today. You're going to have to run it down our throats and make us respect your run game in order for us to let you pass this football. I'm excited to do this with you guys today, okay? We got a couple of rules around here. If you learn anything about the game of football, you must subscribe. If you learn anything about your favorite football team, you must subscribe. If you have any fun at all today, you must subscribe. Wow. Let's shut up and let's grind the tape. I'm going to be honest, okay? If you like what we're about to put down, all right, if we earn your subscription today, all right, that's awesome. I want to see you tonight at 8 o'clock on our live show. All right, we talk college football as well or better than anybody else, and it's from this standpoint, okay? It is from a we know ball standpoint. So if that's something you respect, we'll see you at 8 o'clock today. All right, plan was disguised as well. We talk about it all the time on this network. It's one thing to have great football players. It's another thing to have great scheme. All right, it's a whole nother thing to never let anybody know what you finna do when the ball is snapped. Texas does it as well. I would argue better than anybody else in college football a year ago. Now, here's the thing. This guy, gone. All right, this guy, gone. Or actually, that's not Makuba, that's Taft. Taft's back. This guy here, Makuba, gone. I thought Makuba was a really damn good football player. You're going to see that on today's tape as well. All right, so let's get after it. All right, here we go. Let's get after it. So they disguise this stuff really, really early. Like, we expect to see double coverage. We expect to see bracket coverage. If I am coaching Jeremiah Smith, that's probably what I go into every football game assuming, trying to figure out first, hey, what are they doing to try to minimize number 4 moving forward? And here we go. Looks like too high, right? Okay, ball in the middle of the field. We got one safety on the left hash, one safety just outside the right hash. In fact, I would argue he's closer to that wide receiver than he is to Jeremiah Smith down here. So it doesn't necessarily look like we're getting true bracket coverage. If anything, guys, we teach on this network, that's what we call capped coverage. All right, that safety is directly over that nickel. If anything, playing anybody else, normally I'm thinking, oh, we might be getting nickel pressure right about now, right? They've disguised this so well. But as the ball is snapped, I want everyone to pay attention to what the safety does. Feints midfield, then immediately turns his eyes to Jeremiah Smith. We also have outside leverage here, inside leverage here. I don't know what you guru defensive coordinators call that. On this network, we call that bracket coverage, all right? If I got outside, you got inside, we are bracketing, parenthesising, we are bracketing that wide receiver, right? So we call that bracket coverage around this network, and you can see what they're trying to do early on in the football game as Ohio State hands this rock off, all right? You better be able to get these tough six. I'm going to tell you what, I think the most important player in this game, Jonathan, is James Peoples for for me from Ohio State, how many times can we create chunk plays in the run game? All right. How many times can we run into lighter boxes and win? Right. How many times can we put +1 on his face like that? I ain't seen Anthony Hill get put on his face too often on this network. All right. That's a tackle 99.9% of the time on this network. It was not here to start the football game. But it's the key. All right, I think it is the real key for this defense to be able to play what they play. Look, let's take a look at it from the top, okay? I think the moment Ohio State removes you out of your too-high shell, they have beaten you senseless. Okay, this year and moving forward, as long as they have wide receivers like they do, the moment they get you into one-high situations, in other words, the moment they run the ball so much and so effectively to the point where you feel like you have to play the box count even, all right, that's the moment you're going to die. All right, but until then, you're going to be fine. But it means you have to play the box light, right? They have 6 blockers, a ball carrier, and a quarterback threat right now. All right, you have 6 defenders. We're playing this light by nature and by design, okay? They have as many blockers as we do defenders, and they have 2 potential ball carriers right here. Only Texas, only Georgia, only Alabama, really, over the history of college football, can do this to Ohio State. Penn State can't do this, not normally. Penn State's in single high, rolling safeties down, trying to play that box a little bit more heavy to stop the run, okay? But look at this, man. We are just defying the math, right? We are changing the math by defying the blocks. These 4 are going to occupy these 6 from Ohio State really, really quickly. Now, here's the thing. I think this guy's gone, Jonathan. I think this guy's gone, Jonathan. I think this guy's gone. I think number 8's gone as well. Like, they've lost big NFL bodies that were really, really disruptive last year. So, hey, who's going to win this difference, or who's going to win this matchup in this football game? I think ultimately plays a major role. Okay? I mean, I like Montgomery right here. I think this is Ryan Montgomery's older brother right here. This is a good football player. He gonna start 3 or 4 years at Ohio State if my memory concerns me correctly. Tell me if I'm wrong, Ohio State fans. But this guy gonna get snatched down on his face pretty quickly right here. Now, this is a at Julian saying moment right here, okay? This is an at Julian saying moment. We're going to send motion from a Mecca over here, go from a 3x1 into a 2x2 set, all right? They're going to rock and roll their safeties, okay? And there's going to be 1 safety in the middle of the field. Now, if I come to the line of scrimmage as a young quarterback looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, might get some cover 3 here, right? That's what I'm thinking. I got a safety in the middle of the field. I got this guy kind of turned towards me looking at me. I got this guy kind of turned towards me looking at me. We just saw them rock him into the fit, right? So I'm probably thinking when I snap this football, I'm going to get cover 3, right? Watch what happens as soon as the ball snap, boom, rock, invert, Tampa 2. Okay, boom, rocked it, inverted, Tampa 2. So now what we thought was middle of the field closed now is middle of the field open, okay, and they're playing split safety defense with a low hat hole player right here, okay, and the corners are playing it flat. All right, and aggressive. All right, flat and aggressive, meaning like, hey, that guy is showing bail up here at the top. All right, but he's going to try to play both of these concepts right here because I'm pretty sure that's Jahdae Barron. So he's really playing outside of his own, fundamental keys of a traditional Tampa 2. Normally, he's a hard flat player, but right now he's going to try to play both of these smash concepts because he's Jahdae Barron. You know what I mean? But what I was showing you earlier there is, hey, when you're a quarterback, particularly a young quarterback, making your first career start, that would give me the willies if I turned it on. You know what I mean? If I turn the tape on and I see 3rd play of the game, they're rock and rolling. I expected bracket coverage the whole time against number 4. No, they're going to come out here and throw some different stuff at you, okay? So I don't necessarily have to double you, all right? Especially when you're in the slot right here like Jeremiah is, okay? They're going to do things to make him hidden, all right? I don't necessarily have to double you if I mix that look on you. Will Howard does a really, really good job here of identifying what Jahdae Barron's doing, right? He's trying to play both. You can't play both. Hit it now, right? Take that stop route right now. Let's play ahead of the sticks here on 3rd and 4. I thought Will Howard, and you're going to see as this game progresses here in the first quarter, I thought Will Howard played with some some big ones, you know what I mean? And play with some elite level confidence, played on time in this football game, and did throughout this playoff, run that they had. This note right here says they weren't exactly dictating defense towards number 4. This is number 4 over here, guys. Okay, it is 1st and 10 right here. They're going to bring a nickel pressure from the field, all right, and they're basically going to play 2 over 2 over here. They're going to replace with the tight end or the linebacker. They're going to play 1 outside, 1 inside, 1 over the top. Okay. This ends up turning into cover 2, but we plugged the nickel there. Now, I got a question for our young quarterback. Why are we throwing into the lesser numbered side? We got play action going this way. Okay, we got a 2-man concept over here and a 2-man concept over here. This side's working to the field. This side's working into the boundary. Here comes the pressure. They're going to be outnumbered over here. They're going to have too many bodies on the short side of the field, which you'll see tight window throw. Okay, but hey, sometimes if we just rip it with confidence, sometimes we get away with some of these mistakes. But I do think this is a mistake. I mean, that is close. You know what I mean? That is a close, risky throw right there. Good job catching the football, though, Carnell. Foreshadowing. He gets hit with an RPO slant in his face here in about 6 plays. All right, so here's the deal. When he gets in here, this is the Oregon play. All they're trying to do is get you into quarters right now and isolate him on a safety, okay? There is no way you can sit here and say, okay, well, like we tweeted out the other day, my game plan would be, just send 2 guys the whole entire time. Well, you can't do that when he's lined up in here, all right? And not only that, we're going to bring the tight end over here and create bunch duos right here, okay? We got a really tight, condensed duo set right here with a tight end lined up behind us. So here we see what I said, that quarter shell, right? We got what looks to me to be what's going to turn into quarters. So that means I'm going to get a free release and I'm going to be able to step on the toes of this safety. The bottom line, there's going to come a point in time, many a time on Saturday, where Texas DB is going to have to win the ball. There's just no doubt about it. You're going to have to deny the football with it in the air, and this is an example of it right here. By the way, I think this is tremendous by Chip. If you've listened to this network over the years, you know how I feel about Chip Kelly, both from a play calling standpoint and just a run game design standpoint. But being able to find one-on-one opportunities for your elite wide receiver is a gift. Also, I think it's a gift that Ryan Day's had over the years. I was really, really impressed with that I think it was 2021, the Marvin Harrison year. All right, the last Marvin Harrison year, where it was him and Kyle McCord and Emeka, and really it felt like nothing else offensively most of the time. And the whole, going into every game plan, everybody knew, well, you got to find Marvin and you can't let him beat you. And then you go watch Ohio State play, Michigan, or watch him play anybody, and Marvin's still going off. And you're like, how is this happening? Well, they do a great job of hiding these guys. They do a great job of motioning to get these guys free like this right here, okay? You got to deny the ball, like Makuba does right here. And the backside corner, Jade right here, I think does a great job. Okay, that corner, that safety on the front side bit down on that route from the number 1 wide receiver on the front side. Okay, so now we have what we call a hole player, right? A post player replacing right now. This is all instincts from Jade. These are not his responsibilities technically. He's just replacing where the safety ended up coming down and having to jump on that route, and actually adds in right here. And I think makes one of the primary differences in dislodging this football. Got to deny the ball. Got to deny the ball. Take a good look at it from the tight. Oof. All right. Now, dude just took a deep shot, right? Big number 4. He's a human like the rest of us somehow, believe it or not. So he's off the field right now. He's off the field right now, and you're about to see what happens. This is being glued in. This is being keyed in right here. All right. The freshman wide receiver that we're worried about goes off the field. So what do we do now? Now we play a little bit more aggressive in the run game, right? Now we lean on our toes just a tad bit more. I would be paying attention to this if I were Brian Hartline, okay? I would be baiting and switching it because I think I'm good enough. I think I'm good enough I think Cardell Tate's good enough. I think Brandon Ennis is good enough. I think the rest of your wide receivers are good enough that if this happens, right, we take Jeremiah off the field, and now all of a sudden, watch this front side safety. Watch this guy right here. If that's going to happen just because number 4 is off the field and you're going to give me a cover 3 shell finally, all right, and you're going to play it and not being too high, I'm marking it, I'm tabbing a mental note, right? I'm saying, okay, hey, we might have scissors right here off play action, right? We might have a play action shot up off of this, right? I'd be paying attention to it. Wham. I think Judkins was also the difference maker in this game. You're going to see, towards the end of this drive, like there is a run that only Quinshon Judkins is scoring on, okay? Trying to run counter right here. I mean, that's a negative normally. This right here normally ends up in a +1. It ends up in a +5 because Judkins is just a lean forward back, man. Now, here's my thing, okay? I don't doubt. I don't care if it's Chip Kelly. I don't care if it's Brian Hartline. I don't really care because I know the passing concepts, in my opinion, are implemented, installed, and lived and died and breathed and taught the way Ryan Day wants them to be taught. That's my opinion of Ohio State football. No different than how they teach cover 7 at Georgia is how Kirby Smart wants it taught, right? How they call plays, how they design spacing concepts. I think they always have answers. That's just the way I believe about Ohio State's offense. So here we go. Take a look at this trip stack right here. They're going to give you options, right? They're playing a bunch of zone to start this football game. We're going to give you all of the options to run into those zones as humanly possible. Look, they've been playing that one high bracket coverage, right? So what do? We're going to put one guy in that bracket coverage. Also, we're going to send Jeremiah Smith in an arrow to draw that lower hole defender, right? Oh, well, they've been playing that bracket coverage, so let's put somebody over the spot as well. And then on the backside, let's get another concept here. I think they're running the tight end into a hitch or a curl, and then they're flaring the back. They are throwing as many humanly possible answers into these zones as they can every single time. I love their zone concept beaters in the passing game, always have, and you'll see another example of it here in a little bit. They do a great job of bending and crossing the releases as well, okay? They're going to make you walk it through. Now, the reason I left this on the notes, here's my question. And look, I was honestly a Will Howard denier most of the time last year. I was probably anti-Will Howard. Deep state was one of our things earlier in the year. I did not believe, okay? But when I saw this stuff against Texas, well, really against Tennessee, I was like, oh my God, if he plays like that, you're not beating them. You're not beating them at all. And this is a prime example. This is 3 steps, 1 hitch, ball out immediately. Julian Sand's going to have to play this quick and this decisive. All right. He's going to have to know where the answers are when the coach gives them to him. Watch this from the quarterback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 hitch, ball out. And look how tight the windows are, right? If we're a hair late there, that's a problem. And it's going to be a problem this year again at Texas. I don't think Texas's defensive backfield, linebacker core, zone coverages, how they install it, how they disguise it, I don't think any of that stuff's taking a step back. All right, the only thing I worry about is that interior defensive line, right? Them big dudes. Are they as good as they were last year? I don't know. We're going to find out, right? That's my only question. The rest of this stuff, they're going to be the same football team in my opinion. Now, I left this one on here because this is the very similar idea and answer for Jeremiah Smith as we saw in that very first play of the football game. It's going to look like bracket, but I left this on here because I want you young quarterbacks to just be careful, okay? As we say, cuidado. You got to be careful right here, okay? Because it looks like bracket. You're going to think you're getting double, all that, and then the corner's going to sag off like he does right here. That would scare the ever-loving crap out of me. All right, because if I do, right? Oh, they're running bracket, coach. Oh, well, let's just crisscross. Let's run an out route for number 2. He's going to squat on it and take me back 6 the other way. Did we all see that? Okay, we got to be very, very careful. Looked like he was trapping to me, Jonathan. That's what we call that. Call that trapping. Hey, will the windows be this tight, by the way? I think they will. This is another tight window throw here from Will. I mean, good Lord, son. I know the pass rush is going to be this quick. Hell, Colin Simmons is barely just now getting onto the field over here. Those are some tight windows, dude. Those are some tight windows to be throwing in this football game to start. All right, now back to true bracket on the other side, right? We're going to play outside leverage right here from number 5, feed them to the safety. Outside leverage from number 5, feed them to the safety. So you get into these situations, we can just kind of assume we're going to get some type of bracket on number 4. That's reasonable. Now, what that means is somewhere, most likely multiple places, we're going to have a one-on-one opportunity. All right, so we got to win. Both sides got to win. Texas has got to win. Ohio State's got to have an opportunity to win. Now, here's good news and bad news for Ohio State. Carnell Tate routes this dude up, gets about 4 yards on Jahdae Barrett, the best corner in college football last year. However, we take it right off the face mask. Catch the ball. Catch the ball. Down set hut, RPO. Oof. So hard to get accurate throws on these types of balls because we're opening left, Jonathan, and then we have to get our feet basically flipped at the same exact angle. You know what I mean? We got right foot in front of our left foot on the line that we're trying to throw this football. And now we literally have to jump pivot, get our feet in the same exact spot, all right, and then throw the ball. Look at that. That's tough. Now, I know they're asking him to do a slant. I watched one SEC coach ask his quarterback to do that footwork and then throw the 15-yard comeback over here. Crazy person. Crazy person. All right. Somehow, some way, you got to be this good. If you're an Ohio State fan watching this today, and for that matter, if you're a Texas fan watching this today, this is the difference. Like, we're sitting here learning Jeremiah Smith and how they play defense, all that good stuff, but this is it. It's running the football from Ohio State will control how successfully they are offensively, because I'm going to tell you what, man, they're going to be disruptive, right? They're going to park guys in your backfield. They got great defensive linemen. Do you have the great answers? And I thought Quinshon Judkins was the answer in this football game. I mean, holy hell, he scores. You know what I mean? We get pressure and people in our face. We get the +1 defender at -1 in the red zone when they're playing cover 0, and we end up punching it in the box. Come on, man. That's special. Got to be that special. Oh. I think this stuff is all Ryan. I think this stuff is all Ryan Day right here. Okay, we're going to motion the tight end over here. By the way, that's Jeremiah Smith hiding out right there. This is what I was talking about earlier. I think they do a really, really good job of, no matter how good you are at taking away our best player, I'm going to get my best player to the football. Now, what that means when you're playing these guys, you better get his butt on the ground, because most of the time when they design these early quick hitters backed up in our own end type of opportunities for number 4, hey, we better deny some blocks and get some guys on the ground, because I'm going to tell you what, right now, they got us. They absolutely have us as an offense. Okay, they got us scripted. They got the best player on their football team with the ball. They got one blocker for our corner. They got one blocker for our nickel, and our safety is 18 yards away from the ball carrier. Now, this ends up in a 3-yard gain. That's how good Texas was last year on the defensive side of the football with regards to denying blocks and getting dudes on the ground. Every other time this year, I feel like this damn near might be an 80-yard touchdown against Ohio State, okay? Deny some blocks out on the edge, and that's modern football. We're going to show another clip of this a little bit later. The football teams nowadays that can take away everything, those easy completions, and just make them inefficient, right? Ooh, you want to throw a bubble screen? That's fine, +2. Yeah, you got a positive yard, but it's 2nd and 8 now, not 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4 gets me killed on defense. 2nd and 8 gets you killed up in the box offensively, okay? So there we go. Get him on the ground. That's the key. That was his only reception of the football game, Jonathan.
It's crazy.
Yep. Now, I'm telling you, as long as I've studied these dudes, they're always going to have answers. I believe. Now, Everybody's playing this much zone coverage nowadays. Everybody's zone matching. Everybody's trying to run some version of split safety defense and get the perfect call on both sides of the offensive formation. They're trying to mix max coverages, all that good stuff. We know they're zone football teams. So as an offense, how do we give our quarterbacks all the answers? Well, like I told you, they do such a great job of mixing and running their releases up across each other and causing certain things to manipulate certain windows like this right here. So what I think we got here, Jonathan, we're going to crisscross this number one wide receiver and this tight end. The tight end's going to sit and hook. The wide receiver is going to cross his face and go over what we call the spot, right? The spot of the ball. And then also, by the way, we're going to flare the back. So at one point, all three of these Ohio State options are going to be stacked amongst each other. All right, 1, 2, 3, right here, boom. So now, right as the ball is snapped, we got that line, right? We got that line of three options for these three zone defenders to try to figure out, okay? And they're going to have a problem with it. 18 is going to get his face crossed, and now he's in a decision, right? Do I take the tight end to my left? Do I squeak down on this spot route from this other wide receiver? Now, the other reason why I know they're so good at this is because they're so well coached. Now, this wide receiver, guess what he did not do, Jonathan? Guess what he did not do? He did not say, oh my, I'm wide open. I crossed that linebacker's face. I'm going to keep running. No, he geared down, showed his chest, and got right in the viewpoint, in the vision point of the quarterback, right? Squatted down and got the ball out. Boom. Now, guess what? First down. It was a 2nd and 8. Now it's a first down and we're out of our own end. Great job right there by the offense as a whole, just being designed correctly. Okay? Get a look at it from the tight. Again, man, hey, is Julian saying going to be able to have all of these answers? I don't know. Like, we're working left to start this progression. We come all the way back right on time. Boom. There's the spot route for us. Get it out. Let's go. All right. Hey, I'm going to tell you what. You can still do this. Now, I saw an Ohio State fan comment yesterday, a lot deeper at tight end than we were a year ago, might be living in 12. I wouldn't. There's no way I'd be getting in 12 with the wide receivers that you have. It's just too many good wide receivers. That being said, you can force their hand just a little bit. They hop in 12 right here, and we get a real, like, clean-cut, one-hot safety look. Like, if I'm the offensive coordinator, I kind of like this, right? Especially considering it's really not a true cover 3, because you feel like you got to protect number 4 down there on the short side of the field, right? So we got a lot of grass up here to work with, all right, if we really wanted to, right? Sail route's looking hella good up there at the top of the screen, ain't it, Jonathan? Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. If I sell that bender and yak that sail right now, we got a 25-yard completion, okay? So, yeah, you can force their hand just a little bit, and they're trying to right now. They're trying to force their hand into a cover 3, right, with 12 personnel. This safety rolls down. This safety goes to the middle of the box, right? He's got cover 3. So this button hook right here from Jeremiah Smith should be pretty open, shouldn't it? Should be pretty open. And that's exactly what it is. Hey, I'm throwing the headset in the box right now. I'm throwing the headset in the box. We got the best wide receiver in the country, only being able to get him the ball once. And we out here, I don't like it. Come on, man, rip the ball. Now, I understand why you don't like it, right? Mm-hmm. I understand. I get it. I'd put it in my pocket too, but that being said, that's number 4. Give him a chance. All right, we're 13 plays in, Jonathan. Is there any, other than just the casual bracketed covers that you do to a normal X, is there anything from Texas that says they're just, oh my God, terrified of Jeremiah Smith? No. They're just playing ball right now, aren't they? They're just playing ball right now, okay? I think we got to rip that football. There's Jeremiah right there in the corner of your screen. We got to rip that football, amen? Mm-hmm. No turn downs. All right, that's another note I have here. Hey, whichever one of you quarterbacks has more turn downs and leaves explosives on the tape, y'all probably going to lose this football game. And I know Arch Manning's going to be the other guy. I know Arch, as a coach, I'm going to have to say, Arch, please calm down. Hey, you don't have to make every throw today. Hey, we got a great defense. We can run the football. All right. I don't know about Julian. I literally don't. We have no idea. Are we going to have to encourage that guy to take risks? Are we going to have to pull the reins back on him? All right. Which one is it going to be? I'd be sitting in the box going, what are we doing? The real question, we talked about it from the start, okay? Where are the run chunks created? All right, I know there's going to be chunk plays created in the passing game for Ohio State, but how do we do this, right? How do we get a 15-yard run, all right, out of our offense? Because if we are reliant solely on chunk plays through the pass all year long, all right, we're eventually going to run into a day where we can't quite hit the deep ball, or we can't quite get to an explosive in the passing game. A la this football game, amen? Right? The only reason I think y'all won this football game is because of a couple of runs like this in the halfback screen right before the half. Okay, the rest of it was we're methodically moving the football down the field, right? All right, so we got to find these run chunk plays. Great job right here by Quinshon Judkins. Great block. Wham! All right. We love a good 21 personnel around here. 2 backs, 1 tight end, running jet out of it. By the way, if you're one of these people that thinks that's targeting, get the hell off my channel. Okay? All of you. You're watching the wrong guy if you think that type of physical football needs to be punished. All right? Safety, player safety. Don't care. Hey, this is why I told y'all earlier that boy Will Howard has some wheels on him in this football game. Okay, we don't even get the tight or the wide copy here because they're going so fast. They're in a no huddle situation. Watch this ball, Jonathan. I can guarantee you right now, Julian Sayer will not be ripping this one in his first career start. I can guarantee you right now, he will not be ripping that football in his first career start. Will did, though, and they caught it. I have no idea how, but they did. I mean, that's all day locked on one guy. I am just riding him the whole way through this progression, and I'm going to throw this football. All right. So the first time I ever heard it like really, really clean cut explained to me about what it does for your offense to have a true dominant X was Todd Monken. When he was down here as offense coordinator at Georgia, the 4 times in 7 years or 4 times in 3 years we got to actually talk to him in the media. I would love to just listen to him talk ball. He's very, very smart, right? And he talked about what an X receiver does to you. It really tilts the field, right? It really tilts what they do. It dictates defense, right? And if I'm able to dictate defense, I know where you're at. In other words, we have one high safety and this corner down here with Jeremiah lined up by himself to the short side of the field, right? Ball's on the right middle, okay? So, in other words, I have all of this field from the ball to the left to play 9 on 10, right? We have all this field to play 9 on 10, knowing that this middle of the field safety is going to work away. So, let's just design concepts to attack this portion of the field, right? This coverage, because we know that's where they're going to be vulnerable because they're overextended here on the short side. Do we all understand? It's nice and simple, and you can see it right here, right? We'll just run Jeremiah on whatever we want to run him on, right? But we're really working this top side of the screen so much so that we're going to roll the quarterback to his right. They're playing over the top, inside, outside, right? So where are they vulnerable? Well, if we run the out right there and then run the sail right there, we can high-low that corner over on the sideline. Do we all see that? Okay, so roll the quarterback left. Boom. There's the high-low answer. Take the low right now. He's sagging off the high sail. Okay, so let's rip it and let's go. Let's pick up 9 yards. Boom. Nice and easy. And again, the only reason that's created, in my opinion, is because we know, hey, the safety in the middle of the field right now is about to roll over there on Jeremiah Smith. Okay? Attack where they aren't because we know where they're going. So there's 8 yards, right? There's 8 yards picked up on Jeremiah is over there. All right, well, here's the next play. 2nd and 3, 7 yards. Here's the next play. Okay, look, here we go again. Hey, Jeremiah's over there. Well, what does it do? It dictates the field. It tilts the field. You can't see it because he's hiding in the Cotton Bowl logo. There's another Texas defender over there. So guess what we're doing now? Now it's gotten even worse. Now the ball's on the left hash, and we're playing 9 on 10 in a phone booth. All right, so we got the numbers, right, Jonathan? We got the numbers, so let's go. Boom, down set hut, get the ball out there over to the top of the screen where we got the numbers, pick up 7 yards. And right there is a 12-yard first down conversion in the middle of the second quarter, all because number 4 is over there. We all see that? That's nice and easy, okay? That don't disappear when the offensive coordinator goes in and takes $6 million from the Raiders. Can't have turndowns, though. Can't have turndowns. I just wrote this on the note. QB with the most turndowns will lose this game. Quince Tape has a ton of these. Okay, Quince Tape has a ton of these right here. Emeka Egbuka on the sale, Bubba. Emeka Egbuka on the sale right now. We all see that, okay? Because we got Jeremiah Smith over here, and he's going to take you, and he's going to take you on this post. And when that sale comes through here, it's going to be open. Now, Will, if you're listening today, I know we got a little bit of pressure right here from Bill Norton, but that football's got to be thrown. Also, I don't know if I'm throwing it. I'm sorry. When he sits like that, that scares the ever-loving crap out of me. It's such a great job by that corner getting vertical on number 1 and then squatting for whatever might come off of it, right? It's a great job right there. Gets rid of the ball, doesn't take the sack. That's good. All the great teams right here do this, okay? They do this without getting snuck up off right. We call it Fox, right? When we run this tunnel over here, all right, and then the next time we run that fake one and then get that vertical down the seam, okay? That's the stuff we got to be worried about. But if we can take away this stuff aggressively, deem them inefficient right here, we win. That is an inefficient screen pass, all right? It is now 3rd and 8. We just forced them into an automatic passing situation. Now Colin Simmons can get off the line of scrimmage and really rush the quarterback, okay? We changed the math. We changed the play calling when we're efficient on these. I'm just trying to be in 3rd and manageable place. No, we're not letting you do that. Same thing on the other side of the football. I think Sark's screen game is one of the more, designed and worked on. Like, he's trying to create explosives, not just efficient plays. He's trying to create explosives where he can throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage and his wide receiver do some nasty stuff after the work. Every offensive coordinator is. How do we defy these blocks out on the edge? That's a nickel taking it to an NFL tight end right there, okay? Giving him the work. Got to be ready to bring the smoke out there at the nickel spot. All right, but here's the reality. Okay, here's the reality. I know that you're going to bracket, right? I know you're going to bracket, which means eventually you are going to be left alone. Eventually, you're going to have to win your one-on-one elsewhere. Because I know you might have a chance to win your two-on-one down here at the bottom, but you still going to have to deny the ball elsewhere. Because Carnell Tate still exists. Brandon Ennis still exists. Okay, they got good weapons elsewhere. All right, like this right here. Emeka Egbuka still exists right here for this Texas defense. He's still a problem. So you better be able to deny the football here on 3rd and 8 and get up off the field as my HDMI cord craps out. All right. It's a great job here by this nickel defender of denying the football. We can see it all the way here from the tight. All right. Who's that? Muhammad, number 5?
I think so.
I mean, it's such a great job. It's also a tendency, knowing what he's about to do. Watch this moment right here. Watch number 5. All right, he's outside leverage right now, Jonathan. Watch as soon as he gets beat, watch him work to the inside of the leverage right there. Because we know you have a tendency to run this deep over, right? This number 3 wide receiver, all right, that lines up in the slot, he's doing one of 2 things on these big explosives. He's running what we call the Dover, the deep over, or he's running the straight seam down the middle that they hit against Oregon State, or Oregon rather, right? That bucket catch that he had against Oregon, same thing. Are they going to test you in number 3? You better be able to win. That's the only reason they get off the field right here. All right. I was I was kind of taken aback. I'm not going to lie to you. I was expecting to see way more dedicated, I'm trying to stop number 4. It seemed like they were kind of playing ball for the most part, unless they were in 3x1. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. Like I said, if you enjoy any of this stuff, if you made it this far, you should hang out with us at 8 o'clock every single night here on the network. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I love you. Bye.